Good morning. Welcome to Saturday. Sorry, just getting stuff out of my head, baby. Today we are gonna be talking college basketball on this edition of Lewis L. Saturday Sports Network, where today we will be going over everything. We will be playing a game called "If the tournament started today," quote unquote. If they play today. If they play today. So, we're going to be doing that. We're going to be talking about the bubble teams. Who's on the bubble on bracketology, who needs a win today. And then we're going to be picking the games. So, might take it all the way till noon today. I'm watching College Game Day right now at Duke, Carolina. That is one going to be one for the ages, in my opinion. So yeah. I only get Fox in my dorm room for the TV, but I stream shit all the damn time, baby. So there's gonna be a lot today. Mr. Palm's bracketology. We're gonna be using that to do this game we're playing, but then we'll look at the ESPN, the bubble line, discuss every fucking thing that's going on in the fucking world today. So, if they play today in the first four, Utah State, Kentucky would beat Utah State. Penn State, Arkansas. Arkansas would beat Penn State. Musselman, great coach. Purdue gets the 1 seed. They'll win that game, whoever they play. Pittsburgh, Creighton. I expect Creighton to beat Pittsburgh. And then who would win Purdue-Creighton, you ask? See, I think Purdue would beat Creighton. Even though Creighton could be a matchup nightmare for Purdue, I still would pick Purdue to beat Creighton. The next one is Missouri-USM. Missouri would win that. Baylor-VCU. Baylor would win that. Who would win Missouri-Baylor? Scott Drew is a really good coach. I don't think they get bounced out 2 years in a row. I think Baylor beats Missouri, but I think that would be a very underrated matchup. Xavier versus Bradley in Miami FAU. Xavier would beat Bradley and Miami would beat FAU. Who would win that round of 32 matchup? Xavier Miami. This is assuming this is March and Fremantle's playing. I think we'd squeak one by Miami. And then Michigan State, Boise State, Texas, Siena. Texas would beat Siena, and I think Michigan State would beat Boise State. Now, if Michigan State and Texas ended up meeting in the round of 32, I'd take Michigan State in an upset just because Texas has a bad tournament track record. Then that means Xavier and Michigan State would play in the Sweet 16. And guys, I would only predict this Sweet 16 game just because it's my team versus a team who I've always wanted to play. We've got a lot of Spartan buddies. We've been hyping up this hypothetical matchup for a long time. Would Xavier beat Michigan State? With Fremantle, do I think Xavier would beat Michigan State? Yes, I think we would squeak out a close one against Michigan State. I think Michigan State's a really good team. They're a good team. I wouldn't say a really good team. I think Xavier is a really good team when they play to their full potential. So, yeah, I think Sule Boone would have a good game. I think State would miss a couple of shots in the game. Give us some defensive rebound. I think we could beat them on the glass. I think Xavier would beat Michigan State. Would Arizona beat Vermont? Yes. And then NC State, Nevada. I'd take Nevada in an upset, or that an 8-9 game. Would Nevada beat NC State? Yes. Nevada has always been a dangerous team out there in the Mountain West. So I think that would be an intriguing matchup. Sorry, guys. And then Arizona, Nevada. Arizona would beat Nevada. Look, I think Nevada's had a good program the last couple years, but Arizona just down low, very physical. UConn, Kent State. Would UConn beat Kent State? Now, I think Dan Hurley is a terrible coach come March. Yes, I do still think UConn would beat Kent State. And then Iowa State, UCSB. Iowa State would beat them. And then UConn versus Iowa State. I'd take Iowa State over UConn. Like I said, UConn just sucks ass in March. Iowa State's ran a very nice program this year. Speaking of Iowa State, they play Kansas today at home at noon. That's going to be a fucking good game, and it's a marquee game. It would be a signature win for them. We'll get to that later. San Diego State versus the 11th seed. Let's say they play Kentucky. I would take Kentucky to beat San Diego State. And then Gonzaga, Eastern Washington. I take Gonzaga to beat Eastern Washington. If Gonzaga played Kentucky, I'd take Kentucky in an upset. I think Kentucky's a lot better than their record shows. For whatever reason, Gonzaga in March just... Actually, you know what? I think Kentucky-Gonzaga would be a really good game. You know what? I'd still take Kentucky. I think Mark Few's run is over. No, I'm not saying Mark Few's a bad coach and that Gonzaga's not a bad team. I think Mark Few finally gets a little dose of reality this year and they get a second round exit. Providence, Wisconsin. That would be an intriguing 7-10 matchup. Hey guys, sorry, I just have some weird quirks. But that's part of being on the autism spectrum. You know what? I don't let it define who I am. I know myself and I know I'm a good person. So that's my little TED talk this morning. Anyway, Providence versus Wisconsin. See, Providence always fucks up in March. I would take Wisconsin to win this game. Not because I think Wisconsin's a better team than Providence. It's just I cannot trust Ed Cooley in March. Now, granted, I know they had a little nice run last year to the Sweet 16. I can't see him doing that 2 years in a row. Wisconsin would win, even though I'd root like hell for Providence. Kansas State versus Youngstown State. Kansas State would win, and Wisconsin versus Kansas State. Kansas State would win that. Let's go over to the other side, baby! And then soon we'll talk about all the bracketists of that bubble line. Who plays today? Who needs to get that motherfucking win? Because they're on the goddamn bubble. Bama would likely play. They'd win their game against the 16. Just to make sure, who would Sorry, let's go back to the Kentucky thing. Shall we? San Diego State would play Penn State. No, San Diego State would play Arkansas. Arkansas would beat them. And then Arkansas would beat Gonzaga. So, my bad there on that goddamn count alone. So, let's go to the Midwest. Bama would play some Scythian school. They'd win that. USC versus UNC. You know what? I think UNC would beat them. I think UNC is a team that is much better than their record shows. Illinois versus Charleston. See, Charleston kind of on a hot streak. You know what? Fuck it. I think Charleston would upset Illinois in March Madness. Illinois has shown to not win big games in March. I think Charleston will get the upset. And then TCU Liberty. Give me TCU. Charleston, TCU. Fuck it. Give me Charleston as a Cinderella. I think Charleston could be the Cinderella this year. Beating Illinois and TCU to get to the Sweet 16. Now, guys, remember, this is hypothetical. So, now, the 6-11 would be Duke versus Kentucky. And I think that would be one of the best first-round tournament games. Obviously, these two have a storied history. They go way back, looking at 92 when Christian Laettner hit the game-winning shot against Kentucky. Duke, Kentucky. I think Kentucky wins. You see, I don't think Duke's a bad team. I just gotta see them how they play outside of Cameron. And outside of Cameron, they just haven't looked that good this year. But give me Kentucky. Marquette versus Cornwall. Marquette would win, yada, yada, yada. But then, look at this. Kentucky versus Marquette. I'd take Kentucky. I think Kentucky's really talented. I don't trust Shaka Smart in March, just like when he was at Texas. He was terrible in March. And last year, when they were the 9th seed, North Carolina blew them out of the fucking gym. See, I think Kentucky, like Duke and Carolina, are better than their record shows. They got a lot of talent at Kentucky. I think they beat Marquette. Iowa, Auburn. the battle of the choke bowl. These teams in March. These teams are two of the worst Power 6 March Madness teams ever. I want Auburn. God, this would be such a mid-off. But you know what? I'd take Auburn. Iowa just never seems to get past the first round. At least Auburn can get past the first round. Iowa never seems. Iowa always finds a way to lose in March. That's just who Iowa is. But then again, you play the game enough times. Eventually the ball's going to go in. You're going to find your way. I take Auburn. Houston versus Nayshaw. Houston, and then Houston, Auburn, Houston. Guys, I think Houston could make the Final Four this year. In the East, baby, Kansas versus some 16 I've never heard of. Kansas. Maryland and New Mexico State. Guys, or no, excuse me. New Mexico. New Mexico under Richard Pitino playing some good basketball. Maryland under Kevin Willard. Okay. I take New Mexico. I think New Mexico's a dark horse. And Maryland, well, I think Maryland's somewhat of a decent team. Again, Kevin Willard, another guy, just cannot get over the March hump. And I would take New Mexico. Indiana versus Oral Roberts. Could Oral Roberts be a Cinderella? No, Indiana wins. Jackson Davis is the best player in the Big Time. All right, Jackson Davis is the best all-around player in the Big Time. Yes, Jackson Davis is a better all-around player than Zach Edey. I said it. You want to rip me. But anyway, UCLA versus blah, 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 13 seed. Never heard of them. UCLA. Now, Indiana, UCLA. An intriguing second-round matchup. USC, UCLA, good guard play. Indiana, Jackson Davis. One player of the year. Two of them, Jaquez and Jackson Davis. I think this would be a good matchup, and I think... fuck it. Indiana's due. I think they beat UCLA. Indiana's due for a big run at some point. St. Mary's versus Clemson. St. Mary's. Virginia versus Furman. Virginia. St. Mary's, Virginia. I'd take Virginia to beat St. Mary's. I think Tony Benson are a good coach. I think they kind of surprise people, get back to the Sweet 16 a little bit. Rutgers, Memphis. Give me Rutgers. Tennessee, Colgate. Give me Tennessee. Rutgers, Tennessee. You know what? Fuck it. We're pretending this is March. I think Tennessee fucks up and chokes again. Rutgers beats Tennessee. Now, let's go to the ESPN bracketology, and we're going to talk some bubble ball today. We're going to talk about all the games coming up as I'm watching... sorry, guys, my Wi-Fi kind of down right now, but we're fixing it. Guys, I'm so excited for college basketball today. This is what Saturdays in the winter are all about. Sorry, guys, hold on. Anyway, my beloved Musketeers play at 5 against St. John's. Guys, I'm just so pumped up for some b-ball today. You don't even know. The top overall seed is Purdue. The first team out is A&M. The last team in is Oklahoma State. The last 4 byes today. Let's talk about it. Northwestern, New Mexico, Arkansas, Memphis. Kentucky, West Virginia, Nevada, and Oklahoma State. The last 4 in are Kentucky, West Virginia, Nevada, Oklahoma State. Kentucky plays today. Oklahoma State plays today. So, big day in terms of the last 4 in. The first 4 out are A&M, Florida, Oklahoma, Charleston. The next 4 out are Wisconsin, Seton Hall, Penn State, and Arizona State. So anyway, let's get into the picks of the day, baby. And you know what? We might just pick the whole entire weekend because we might as well. Okay, let's start the party. Obviously, Xavier hosting St. John's. Give me Xavier at home. Let's go, Watch, baby. Yes, sir. Virginia Tech. Give me Virginia Tech in an upset. At home, they get a quad 1 win. Reese Beekman and the Cavs go down. Kansas at Iowa State. Give me Kansas on the road. Actually, no, fuck it. I think Iowa State gets a signature win today. I think today, as John Rothstein would say, this isn't anarchy, this is college basketball. I think Iowa State gets a win today. UConn at Georgetown, give me UConn. UCF at those scumbags in Clifton, give me the scumbags in Clifton. Cincinnati gets a win. Michigan State at Rutgers in Madison Square Garden, give me Rutgers at home. Texas Tech at Baylor, give me Baylor at home. Wake Forest at the Irish, give me the Irish to stun Wake Forest at home. Georgia Tech at NC State, give me NC State at home. Ole Miss at Vandy, give me Vandy at home. Auburn at Tennessee, give me Tennessee. Oh, Rocky Top. Butler at Marquette, give me Marquette. Butler's god-awful. TCU at Oklahoma State. Give me Oklahoma State to beat TCU. Vegas knows something. Why is the spread -4? Tulane at Memphis. Give me Memphis. Florida State at Louisville. Give me Florida. Give me Louisville. They're going to somehow win 2 in a row. Illinois at Iowa. Give me Iowa to win at home. Miami at Clemson. Give me Miami to win on the road. Stun Clemson. Purdue at Indiana. Give me Indiana to rise up, play their best game of the year, and get the job done at home. Alabama at LSU. Give me Alabama on the road. Texas at Kansas State. Give me Kansas State at home. Syracuse at Boston College. Give me Boston College in an upset. Why is the spread only 3.5? See, I watched Syracuse, that Joe Girard III kid. Very talented player. I think the spread's too low, and I think we're going to see a lot of drama today. Give me BC at home. Missouri at Mississippi State. Why is Mississippi State a 3-point favorite? But you know what? Missouri's been playing good. I think Missouri continues to win. Even though I think they're due for a loss, I think they might get it next game. Carolina at Duke. Give me Duke at home. Revenge from last year's Final Four. Washington State at UCLA. Give me UCLA at home. Villanova at Creighton. Give me Creighton at home. Oklahoma at West Virginia. Give me Country Roads. Take me home. A win. A W in the column. Dayton at St. Bonaventure. Give me Dayton on the road. Georgia at A&M. Give me A&M at home. Florida at Kentucky. Give me Kentucky at home. Maryland at Minnesota. Give me Maryland. Arizona hosting Oregon State. Give me Arizona. Washington at USC. Give me USC. Oregon at Arizona State. Give me Arizona State. Gonzaga at St. Mary's. Give me Gonzaga on the road. That is all for the picks today. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.